figure out what you want, they say. Get really, really clear and create that desire, they say. But what they don't actually say is we don't get what we want. We get what we expect. Today, let's talk about how we can change our expectations to really start creating some momentum in our lives and draw in the things that we want. Let's go. Welcome to Phoenix Rising, a superior podcast for all of your transformative tools for personal and spiritual growth. Let's go get that nugget. A long time ago, when I was getting ready for a spelling test, I had studied the night before, it's like, I was probably in third or fourth grade. And I studied pretty good. I worked with my mom and she would read me the cards. They're like on 3x5 cards. She'd read me the card. I'd spell it and she'd make a stack of the ones I got right and the ones I didn't. So, and then I would sit at the kitchen table and she would read me the vocabulary and I would write it down just to kind of mentally and physically prepare for taking a test. And then the next morning, I get up and I get ready for school and she goes, "How are you going to do on your test?" And I said, "I'll probably fail." And she goes, "Well, you definitely will with that attitude." And I thought, as life went on and I'm in the field that I am in and I think about how the mind works and our thoughts and our words and our stories that we tell ourselves. And I remember her saying that to me often. And I wish that I could go back in time and pause on the remote, pause on the bus coming, so I had time to have this conversation with her and go, "Mom, let's talk about why you just said I will with that attitude. Like, what does that mean?" And what I should do is go and have this conversation with her right now in our lives and go, "Okay, do you remember telling me that? And then what did you think that meant? Like, why did you say that?" Well, if you've ever heard that or you ever said that, you would know that it is our attitude about things that draw in or repel the thing that we want. And we don't really know why. Now, I know why now because I've been studying energy and the subconscious minds and our thoughts and words on how we create the life that we lead. And I want to express something. It's like, you've heard me talk about dog poop on the sidewalk of life, right? If we throw out a bad attitude or bad energy or negative energy, we're not going to suddenly attract the thing that we want. We are going to repel it. And so if you have a bad attitude about something, that is the energy that you're sending out. Now, sometimes those people with victim mentality, which I did have, I was 100% back then, and I played that role because I got attention for it. I got love and affection. I got cared for when I had a bad attitude, when I was in victim mode, and my mom would give me attention. And somewhere in my mind, in my little tiny 4-year-old, 8-year-old, 12-year-old mind, I realized I'm going to get attention for it. Now, sometimes it was negative attention, but for the most part, it was a conversation. It was encouragement. It was, words of wisdom like that one that says, "Well, you're not going to get it with that attitude. Jennifer, you worked really hard on those words last night. I think you can do it. I know you can do it." And then she would give me some wisdom, relax when you take the test and just remember you got this. But if I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get an A," she would have probably said, "Okay, bye, honey." And the conversation would have been over. I got a lot more engagement when I acted like a victim. I acted like, "Oh, poor me. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't, but I probably won't." But what happened is it created a life of, I have no responsibility in my life. I'm not a creator. I'm not empowered. Poor me. And I kept doing that throughout school. I tried to do it with teachers. I tried to do it with friends, and I was mostly shut down, but it worked really well with my mom. And then when I got older and I'm in college and I'm dating, it worked really well with my partners. It worked really well with those people that I had longer relationships with. They kind of fell in line, right? They started to be encouraging. So I want you to be careful about that mentality because there is a fine line between pulling in victim mentality and seeing that you need some skills, some knowledge, and even some assistance. So there is a gray area there. But I want you, and the only way you'll know if it's a gray area where you are, if you're heading towards the green or you're heading towards the red, and the green being you are empowered and you know that you need some skills and knowledge and tools, or the red area is I'm just poor victim and I just want some words of encouragement, is by how you feel. So now let's take something that you want. Take anything that you want. And I want you to think about taking that goal and really expanding it. So let's say, I'm going to join this exercise class and I want to lose a few pounds. And let's say you have 50 pounds to lose to be in optimum shape. I'm going to lose just a few pounds. Well, I'll tell you right there, with that expectation, you're probably not going to reach your goal. Because for one, there's not a lot of power behind it. And you have this big amount, this big goal that you want to reach, you really want, but you're not actually going there. But here's a nice little exercise to help you to try on how, not only like, do you actually want the goal, but what are the blocks that are getting in your way? What's the story that you immediately tell yourself? Like I always say, the block is behind the butt. And so let's say, okay, I have 50 pounds to lose, but what I'm actually telling myself is I'm going to join the gym, or I'm going to get a membership, or I'm going to pick this diet or eat less or do whatever your plan is, whatever your plan of action is. I'm going to lose a few pounds. Now, what I want you to do is change that few pounds to actually what is the right amount. I just want to make a few more dollars. I just want to have a little more fun. I just want to lose a few more pounds. So I want you to go, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. And then I want you to pay attention to what you say right after that. But I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I know that I'll go back into my old ways. And right here, if you're saying, I know I'm going to go back, or I don't think I'm going to make it, or I'm probably going to fail, that's the quote, bad attitude that my mom was warning me about. And now it's kind of, I'm warning you about. But what I want you to do is first, I want you to recognize what are the blocks. Because if you're setting the stage for the expectation, you are probably going to get it. Just like, I'll probably fail this test. Now, this was a little bit different of a story that I told you, because when I said it, I wanted my mom to give me some words of encouragement. I wanted to spend a little bit more time. My love language is quality time, and I did not get enough quality time with my mom, which is probably every single person on the planet. If you loved your mom, you loved your dad, you didn't get enough quality time. That's always the thing, right? But I really didn't. I feel like my mom was pretty absent, but I didn't do it because that's what I believed. I did it because I wanted more time with my mom before the bus got here. I knew that if I said something like that, she would give me words of encouragement. And she did. It worked. So then it reinforced that behavior. But I want you to really honestly think. I want you to do this in the recesses of your mind, quiet and away from everybody. Here's my goal. What do I want? And then I want you to blow up that desire. I want you to blow it up, and I want you to go all the way to the top. Instead of saying, okay, I make $15 an hour, what I want to make is $95 an hour. But, and then hear what that story is that you're about to tell yourself. What is the story that's right behind the but? Because that is the block. Okay, so now you find the block. The next is, when we have clear expectations, it creates power. It's like you've heard me talk about in the podcast often, is about the power behind making decisions. When we can make decisions, we increase, we like 1,000-fold our desire. We 1,000-fold what it is that we want, and it lights it up like a rocket. It increases the power by 1,000-fold. It increases the potency, and really it opens up the path. But if you don't make the desire, if you just keep going, yeah, I want to lose weight. I want to, right? That doesn't have a lot of power, versus I have decided to lose the whole 50 pounds. I have decided to get into optimum shape. I have decided to get my life back. I have decided to pull back the curtains, if you will, and really make significant change, I will tell you right there, you have more power than just stating what it is that you want. And then here's the thing. The biggest fear is letting yourself down. The biggest fear is failure. The biggest fear is not actually getting the thing. But I will tell you, if you don't put enough energy in it, you're not going to get it anyway. But if you say, I just want to lose a few pounds, well, nobody really wants to lose a few pounds, right? They want to get into this beautiful optimum health. That's what they really want. Not, they think a few pounds is, well, but if I don't lose those few pounds, it's not a big deal, because the expectation was not that great. Here's another question for you. Think about this for a second. How many people want to win the lottery? And everybody in the audience raises their hand. Everybody. I want to win the lottery. Are you kidding? How much is it now? It's over $1 million. Shoot, yeah, I'll take it. And then I go, but how many of you played? How many of you bought a ticket? Keep your hand up if you want to win. How many of you have bought a ticket? And all the hands go back down. Because why? I want to win the lottery, but my expectation of actually winning is super low. I don't expect to win. Okay, how about this? In your career, is there a place for promotion? Can you move up and get a raise, get a promotion in your career, in your job? Yes or no? Let's say it's yes. How many of you have applied for those promotions? Yes or no? How many? And what are the expectations that you will get it? Now, if you take that thing and you ask yourself, here's the thing that I want, why don't I have it? A lot of times people think it's the how. Well, because I don't know how to get it. And I go, no, that's really not it. Because listen, if you have the why and you have the what and you have the energy, you've made the decision, the expectation is there, the how will show up and the when will be faster. The how will show up. If I never get in the car to drive to a vacation spot, it's never going to reveal itself. I go, you know what? I want to go on vacation and I want to go to some place that is quiet, that's exclusive. Maybe there's trails, there's water nearby, and I just want to relax. And I expect to find something like that. I want to find a spot where 2, 3, 4 days, Amy and I can just go and just relax. It's a beautiful, like a country setting. Maybe there's a lake nearby. There's some trails. We take the bikes and we just unplug. Now, if I set the intention and I make the decision and I have the expectation that that's what we're going to do, we're going to find it. We're going to find the place. The how is going to show up. The how is going to show up. This is the energy work that I'm always talking about. So we recognize first that there's a desire. Take any desire. It doesn't matter. You want to make $100 an hour. You want a bonus of $7,000. You want to make 6 figures. You want the love of your life. I always hear people, the first is recognize. You got to recognize first that the want isn't enough. You must move to a place of I expect. I expect my business to grow. I expect the love of my life to show up. I expect my relationship to be amazing. I expect my career, whatever it is I'm doing to contribute to make money, I expect that it's going to be amazing. Say those words. I expect. I expect to have an amazing life. I expect to lose all the weight. And rather than that, I expect to lose the weight is I expect to live a healthy life full of vitality and richness and beauty. But if I say, I really want those things, but there's the block. And now change the words. Change what you are saying. Change your expectation and go bigger and use the words, I expect. I expect to be an amazing 6-figure business woman. I expect to have an amazing relationship with my spouse. I expect to have a healthy life. If you expect those things, they start coming in. Now, here's the difference. A lot of times, and I know one of your blocks is going to be the famous, don't get your hopes up. But here's the thing. Look at that sentence or visualize that sentence. Don't get your hopes up. Where's hope? It's up on the scale. It's up in vibration and frequency. It's up. Okay? If my hopes are up here, I am likely to change my life and to get the things that I actually want if my expectation and my hope is up here. Because if you don't have your hope up, what do you have? You have a mediocre life. You have a mediocre life that you're just kind of waiting to get away from. Waiting for the final days to be like, oh, God, thank God. Thank God it's almost over. And I say, you know what? If you even had 2 days left to live, I say live it. Don't sit on the couch waiting for it to be over. Recognize that your words and your power is what's creating your life. So decide on the want and change the words when you talk about it. It might be hard, but here's what my suggestion is. Say it anyway and see what stories come up. Then write those stories down. I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I don't have money. I want to, but I don't know how. Write the I don't know how and I can't and write those down. And then ask yourself, if that wasn't a true story, what would be a new story? And I have a little something to share with you. I have created what's called avatar creation. I freaking love it. It is, you've heard me say this, you are the producer, the director, and the actor. The producer creates the movie. The director kind of starts to fine-tune the details picks out the characters and who does what and how do they stand and what's their script. And the actor implements it. The actor steps into the role. You are all three of those pieces. You can change anything you want at any time you want. You just got to decide, and you just got to change the words, change the script, and make sure those beliefs make it across the belief bridge, which is down into the emotional body, so you can start to attract it. But if your expectations, yeah, I really want to do this thing, Jen, but I can't, I'm not smart, I'm not pretty, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not whatever, I'm not deserving, whatever the core belief is. But I will tell you what, we are not victims. No one is coming to save you. Now, sometimes that drops you down a little bit. Fine, get into that space of grief and be there for a second and then come out a warrior on the other side that says, you know what? I'm going to try it. What have I got to lose? Except those old beliefs and old stories that don't work. It's time. It's time. I've got your back. I'm here with tools and techniques. Oh, and the thing I was going to tell you is this avatar creation, this program. It's in my member area. So if you visit theenrichmentacademy.com, it's over there in the member area on the website where you can see the videos of that. And I walk you through step by step on how to create this elevated version of yourself that is the person who gets what you want. And then, or you can do and there's a whole bunch of that's just one of the bonuses in the member area on the website. But you can also do the podcast membership. It's $5 a month, and you get access to all these really powerful tools and techniques and guided meditations and walkthroughs. But you'll have access to the audio version of that course, of that mini course. And so what I'm wanting to do is in the podcast area is to start creating mini series, and I need feedback from you. So if you're not already, become a part of my Lady Rising group on Facebook and give me feedback of the podcast. Say, hey, I love this episode, or I like it, but I want you to give me all at once. Or can you go a little bit deeper on this topic? Or can you expand on this topic? I want that feedback from you. These podcasts are for you. I mean, I'm sitting in my office. I've got incense burning, got 2 dogs sleeping, and I am teaching you something. But if you need more, if you need it to be explained a little bit different, if you need something just a teeny tiny bit different or something that go a little bit deeper on, let me know. I'm happy to serve. So figure out what you want, take it a step deeper, expand on it, find out what the story is, release the story, and change your expectation. When you do that, my friends, you will change your life. I promise you. Thank you for listening. If you liked that episode, please subscribe, like, or write a review. Let me know how that landed with you. If you'd like to support this podcast, please check out in the show notes where you can buy me a chai tea, or you can join my newest podcast membership for exclusive episodes, guided meditations, and transformative exercises that you won't find anywhere else. Bring your journal, open your heart, and let's get ready for some serious transformation.